What up? What up? What up? What up, people out there? Shout out to everybody. Thumbs up in the chat. Get everybody in the room, man. It's a lot going on. I know we usually don't go on Thursdays, and yesterday's show didn't happen. Um, this is tough to say, man. After 4 years, shout out to L Bugs in there, man. We got the dedicated following in the building right now. After 4 years, Coop and I are gonna go our separate ways, and I wish him the best. As the founder and owner of Recording Hip Hop and building this thing from the ground up, it's very tough. It's very tough, and just the fact that you guys have been dedicated to us, to following us this whole time, and building this organic wave that's been created with the hip hop grassroots that is so important. We just decided that creatively we're on different paths, and who knows what the future holds. But right now, we're going to be doing our own things, but we're both going to be forging forward. And I think it's important for all of us to be in these spaces for the hip hop grassroots and these hip hop dialogues and these spaces. Tonight, I'm actually going to open up the phone line so you guys can kind of call in and tell us some of your favorite A2HH live moments. Yeah, people saying, man, what, right? It's tough. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. And I mean, I can speak for Coop on that line too. Like, we really appreciate it. And when he starts his shows, which should be very soon, I urge everybody to go support him too, because when I say I wish him the best, I truly do, because what we built, something very special here on YouTube, and never going to be taken lightly. We got a lot of stuff here on According to Hip Hop moving forward. A lot of great surprises. Some of you guys heard it the other night when Mickey Fax was on the line. We got a Pete Rock interview coming up, man. Like, can't wait to hit y'all with that. This producer tournament, this producer contest is going to be a very big deal. We got some really big judges that are chiming in and about to be a part of the whole contest. So we're excited to unveil all of those things. And like I said, it don't stop. Like, hip hop continues to go, the dialogue continues to go, and what we built continues to grow. Right? Somebody said first the Fat Boys break up. Yeah, Amigos, all that. So yes, we really appreciate you guys. And I mean, like I said, who knows what the future holds? It could be a temporary thing, whatever. But we do have some hip hop to talk about today. And like I said, out of respect for you guys and the fact that we love you all, we're gonna open up the phone lines, after we go through some of these hip hop topics. And of course, the super chats and all that stuff is still open. So we want people to continue to, chime in the conversation. Big Sean had an amazing Tiny Desk concert the other day. Yeah, David, you're gonna have to catch up. We're gonna hear it on the rebroadcast. Yep, I agree with you guys out there, man. But it's I think it's gonna be great for both people, both parties involved. Big Sean did a Tiny Desk, man. I got a producer in the back. Ron, you in the back? You see the Big Sean concert?
I did, man. I did. I saw the Big Sean joint. It was good. I thought it was good. I thought you did a really good job. What did you think about it?
I thought it was really good. I think Big Sean is one of those artists that, like I said in the previous show, I think he kind of gets overlooked among his peers. I think it was well arranged. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that musically, the band that was there, they clicked on all cylinders. He clicked on all cylinders too. But one thing that shows with Big Sean, and I think we've said this before, he doesn't have a strong rap voice, but he comes up in an era where a strong rap voice isn't totally necessary. But on a live performance standpoint, I hate to compare, but he just did a Tiny Desk as well. Scarface has a great rap voice, probably one of the greatest rap voices ever. And his performance on Tiny Desk was captivating because of all the things that Scarface can actually do with his voice. Big Sean, he hit all his notes, if you will, hit all his flows, hit all his words, and all of that. But I think for some, he doesn't really stick to your ribs, no pun intended or anything, because he has the rap voice that he has, and you can't help those things. But everything else, man, like he was hitting. I think Big Sean is, I don't want to say underrated because he's highly successful, but he's one of those guys that kind of flies under the radar when we talk about the big dogs in his, I guess in his generation, if you will.
I like Big Sean. I think he has he can flow, he can rap. But I think, as you said, his voice, he doesn't have those tones that fluctuate, bar for bar. But I think overall, he can spit. And I think he represents Detroit really well. I thought the Tiny Desk was dope. I thought he did really well. I like the new joint he played at the end, Get On Up, the Jodeci sample. I thought
Now,
that
what
was dope.
separates him, not to interrupt you, but what separates him from Kanye in a sense? Because Kanye doesn't have the best rap voice, if you will, but he still connects. Is there a connectivity issue with Sean, and maybe it's the subject matter?
Well, if you listen to Kanye, he doesn't have the greatest rap voice, but he knows like music, so his voice kind of fluctuates in the pockets a little bit different, right? So he was like that little high, you know what I'm saying? He can hit it and go in. Like when Big Sean is rapping, it's just like it's just like really staccato, and he's not really fluctuating his voice. Kanye uses his voice as an instrument, right? He'll come in, he'll raise this pitch, he'll drop low, he'll kind of change the speed up a little bit. Big Sean is just flowing, and it's the same kind of tone. You know what I'm saying? He's not fitting in the pocket of the music, so it's a little bit different.
Kanye really knows how to hit you with those buzz phrases or whatever, like, and then he'll take the beat out and be like, "When he get on, they leave your ass for a white girl." Like he knows where to hit certain spots. The light skinned friend looked like Michael Jackson. Dark skinned friend looked like Michael Jackson. Like nobody else could say that. Let me get to the super chats real quick. Mad Max says, "R.I.P. Officer Dillinger from Queens. You ain't deserve that." I need to look into that story. What happened? Let's see. Mad Max also with the super chat says Sean always been good. Sean don't have the voice, but he's better than Jeezy for a fact. That's a weird comparison, but I would have to agree. I would have to. I mean, you think better than Jeezy?
I mean, he can rhyme better than Jeezy, but does he have more songs than Jeezy?
But see, I think again, that's where his connectivity and voice comes into play, because I will give Jeezy this. I'm not a huge Jeezy fan like that. Jeezy has connectivity. And Jeezy has the voice too. And the ad libs, the production. I gotta give Jeezy credit, man. His most recent album was really dope. And when you make a really dope album, I guess at this point in your career, and you're somebody like Jeezy and people aren't talking about it like that, maybe people are kind of done with you as as your new music goes, unfortunately. But it's tough. Jason Sweet with the super chat says, "Wow, this is shocking. I'm gonna miss y'all chemistry. Thanks for the great topics y'all spoke, and thank you, Mike and Coop, for interviewing my cousin, Red McFly, J Sweet, rapper / hype man for Take Flight Society for sure, all day. And we still gonna do those things. And like I said, continue to support his platform as well." Mad Max with the super chat says, "Kanye has more personality than Sean. That's it. But I'd rather listen to Sean than Kanye. But I always thought Ye was mid, but the man has charisma." It's interesting for people to say that Ye has charisma, which I think he does. But you remember when he came out, Jay was the most charismatic possibly ever. And Kanye just was dwarfed by, Jay-Z's charisma. And now Kanye's the one with charisma. Mad Max also says Jeezy did a Tiny Desk. It was trash. His records ain't last besides them 3 years. Did you see Jeezy's Tiny Desk?
I did, and I must confess, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good. I mean, the recent rap ones that came out, the Juvenile was better, Scarface was better, and Big Sean's was better. I thought Jeezy, his Tiny Desk wasn't really hitting like that. I think it wasn't resonating with the audience. I didn't like it. I give it like a man out of 1 to 10. I give it like a 5 or 6. Man, it
Now
wasn't
I
it.
didn't see it. I didn't see it, so I want to ask you, like, where do you think he missed the mark at? Was it the song selection? Was it him as a performer?
Well, I don't think it was him as a performer. He did the best that he could. I think it might have been the song selection. I just think the energy was off. I think, and I got to go back. It was so not memorable. I can't remember what he did. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? But it just wasn't hitting. Like the Big Sean one, the band was on point. His arrangement was on point. The way he sequenced his songs was on point. Um, it was just totally different. I think Jeezy tried, but I just don't think he really hit the way it was supposed to hit. You know what I mean?
well, another Tiny Desk I saw recently, and I know this ain't hip hop or whatever, but I saw the Justin Timberlake one, and I guess the trend that I'm seeing, and I only mentioned the Justin Timberlake one, and you mentioned Big Sean doing a new song at the end, which is dope. I think Justin Timberlake did all the wrong songs. I mean, not all the wrong songs, but I think he tried to force some songs in there that he shouldn't have forced in there. He didn't do his best records. I think he tried to prove a point with doing some, I guess, offshoot records or some records that weren't produced by Timbaland or the Neptunes. And I think some of them kind of fell flat. Do you think that Jeezy kind of did some of that where he tried to do more recent stuff? Because it sounds like the stuff you're not remembering might be more recent things.
Might be, and we need to go back, and I'm gonna go back and take a look at what Jeezy did on that Tiny Desk. But I gotta disagree with you. This is according to hip hop. I don't want to go too long into it, but I thought the Justin one was sequenced really good. It was arranged really well, in my opinion. I thought he did it. He did. I mean, he did a good job. I thought he did. You know what I mean?
Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, I'm going to miss arguing with Coop about the greatness of Mr. Morales' album, the greatness of Jay Electronica, and the greatness of 444. We can have those arguments too. And like I said, it's out there, man. But yeah, overall, man, Big Sean's Tiny Desk concert I thought was impressive. Now, I mean, Tiny Desk has been around for a minute, but it seems like a surge of hip hop artists have come out there and wanted to do the Tiny Desk. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to do now. Like, when did this happen?
I don't know.
Because
It
I've
just
been
kind of
watching Tiny
surged.
Desk for, I feel like 15 years, man. It's been a minute.
I know they used to do like R&B acts. They used to do like alternative acts, rock stars, some pop singers. I mean, it's always been a thing, but I think it kind of surged in its popularity. I mean, if you have a list of rappers that could do Tiny Desk, I would like to see a Wayne Tiny Desk. I think that would be
You
interesting.
probably will.
I would like to see a Jay Tiny Desk. Did Nas do one? I don't think Nas did one, did he?
The rumor was there was one done, but it wasn't aired or something like that. But no, there hasn't
Right.
been one aired.
I'd like to see a Nas Tiny Desk. A Ye. We got to call him by his right name, right? He says you can't call him Kanye
Of
anymore.
course. Now, you know
Yeah.
what? If Ye did one, Ye sent out a whole press release to all media telling us to call him Ye instead of Kanye.
And we've been doing that though. You
We've
just
been doing that.
go to accordingtohiphop.com. We've been calling him Ye for the last, since he changed his name. So we've been doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I respect that, man. Like, I don't like when Shaq calls Abdul Rauf Chris Smith or whatever. Like, I think that's disrespectful. Or even when people call Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I don't even remember his real name right now. Lou Alcindor. It's like the person told you what they want to be called, man. L Boogs with the super chat says 1-800 Mike and Coop. I appreciate L Boogs, man. L Boogs always showing love. But yeah, I mean, when a person tells you who and what they want to be called, you gotta respect that. So yeah, we'll call them Ye, of course. Now, I mean, we call niggas all kind of shit when it comes to rap names. Like, we call somebody like, Boogaloo Killer if they told us that's what their rap name was. But
right.
when somebody want to just be called Ye, it's a problem.
He legally changed his name to Ye, so
yeah. But yeah, I think he would have a very dope Tiny Desk. I think it would be very difficult for him to narrow down his catalog to 5 songs. It probably would be a whole out experience. I think somebody like him probably feels like their catalog is too big to do a Tiny Desk concert because it's just too short.
No, I think he can arrange it. I think he can arrange it. I remember when I think Raphael Sadiq did it like twice. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I mean,
Raphael Sadiq's incredible, man. We
he's
don't
one of
talk
the.
about him enough.
We
And,
don't talk
and
about him at all.
yeah, we don't. And shout out to him working with Beyonce on this country album. I'm looking forward to this country album actually. And I think it's great that she's doing that.
I'm looking forward to it too, but I didn't like I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like the first two joints. They ain't sound
You
like
didn't like Texas Hold'em? Texas Hold'em's fine. The other one's okay.
They ain't sound like a country record to me. You know what I mean? But it just did. You know what I mean?
Throw her in a box, man.
You know what I'm
Raphael
saying?
Sadiq did that one too. I think he wrote that record.
All right, we're gonna check it out. What it come out at midnight, right?
Yep. Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, seems like Usher made Tiny Desk a thing. I agree with you on that, Jermaine Johnson. I was going to say the same thing. I think when Usher did it, it kind of opened up, the portal, if you will, opened up the floodgates for people who really didn't know about Tiny Desk like that. All of us music heads, we already knew. What's the best Tiny Desk you've seen since we're talking about Tiny Desk?
The best Tiny Desk I saw was again the Raphael Sadiq one. I think it was the one, maybe the first one. That's when he was doing "Love That Girl." He was wearing the suit. That joint, man. This is according to hip hop. So the Cranberries did a good one. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. You can do that.
Dave Matthews did a good one.
I didn't see Dave Matthews one.
Adele did a good one too. This one Adele was big, like before she had her work done on her. You know what I'm saying? Before she got with Rich Paul. You know what I'm saying? When she was fresh off the boat. You know what I'm saying? She looked. I mean, she did a real. That's when Chasing Pavements was out, so she did a real good one. I mean, it's been a couple of ones, man, that were pretty dope. You know what I mean?
I remember seeing a lot like over the past. Like I said, I've been watching it for like 15 years, so it's a lot of them that were really, really dope. But recently, the one that's top of mind is Scarface. Man.
Yeah, Scarface was dope. The Juvenile one was good too. But
it was too. Juvenile was fire, but when Scarface did "I'm Seeing a Man Die," man, that shit is crazy, man.
Right.
Like that last verse is chilling, man. It's like, and then Mike Dean's over there on the synthesizers. I'm like, man, this is creepy. I don't know, man. That's one of those songs. Is that a top 10, top 15 hip hop song all time?
Which one?
I Seen a Man Die. That shit is different.
It might be top 25 or top 50. Yeah. It's top 100.
Oh, it's definitely that. No. I'm not even gonna do face like that. I think from a quality standpoint, I'm not talking about like being big like Summertime or Fight the Power or Choice Is Yours. Obviously, it's not big like those records.
From a songwriting perspective,
it
might be top 25. I mean,
it's one of the best hip hop songs ever made.
But as far as in his catalog, I still like a Minute to Pray, a Second to Die. I mean, that's a crazy record.
It is, but it's not bad. I love A Minute to Pray, a Second to Die. That's him and his storytelling zenith, but it's not a better song than I Seen a Man Die. I would argue. I think Mind Playing Tricks on Me, you can't argue against that. That's a top 10 hip hop song, I think. But it could be argued that I Seen a Man Die is better than Mind Playing Tricks on Me, just from a writing standpoint.
It could be argued that, but I still think Mind Playing Tricks on Me is just
it's tough to argue, but that he greets his father with his hands out. It's like, whoa, this thing is different, man. Like, I get chills even thinking about that song, man.
I'm gonna tell my son when I turn 100 years old, I'm about to go out, play that joint for me as I transition.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, man. Like, dare me a G. James Smith of the super chat says, Wayne told us to call him Tunchi. And to this day, I have no idea what that means. His mama called him that, right? And didn't it come from his mama or grandmama?
I think it came from mom's.
All right, Mad Max of the super chat says, I just finished listening to Ye's whole catalog. The 5 are Power, Through the Wire, Touch the Sky, Gold Digger, and I Wonder, even though I don't care for that. Really? You think I Wonder is in the mix with that? I love I Wonder. I just listened to that record the other day. But I don't know, man. It's tough to pick 5 Ye tracks. I mean,
if I'm going
to pick 5 Ye tracks that you would say would be on his Tiny Desk? Because
Yeah, I can do that easy. I can do. I'm
okay,
gonna agree with Mad Max a little bit. I'm gonna say Through the Wire. I'm gonna
okay,
say Gold Digger. I'm gonna say.
mm,
Uh, I'm gonna say Heard 'Em Say with Adam Levine, Late
mm,
Registration album.
yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about the atmosphere of Tiny Desk, right, with the band and the arrangement. I mean, I think that one would hit. I would say Everything I'm Not Makes Me Everything I Am, that joint. And then maybe a new one, maybe from Jesus is King. It could be Follow God. He could do Follow God. I mean, he got so many records. It's easy to do
It's tough,
follow.
man. I
He might have
agree
to do
with
10.
I agree with the Through the Wire. I agree with that. After that, man, I don't know, man. Gold Digger, yeah, definitely is. I think it's the best hit song that shows his full out personality. Like, but I think the song that really defines him, kind of like in the way that Imaginary Player defines Jay-Z.
You'll see Jesus Walks.
I wasn't gonna go there. I was gonna say All Falls Down. You listen to All Falls Down, you know who this artist is. You know
Yep.
who this artist was and is going to be. And I think that song gives you everything you need to know about Kanye. So I would have to include Through the Wire, All Falls Down. I'm okay with Gold Digger being in there. Something on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy has to be on there. So it has to be Power because that's just a big moment you can't skip over. And the more recent stuff, I don't know. I don't know.
I
It's tough,
mean, he got fame. You can do recent stuff. You can go Famous. You can go Bound. I'm just trying to think about the atmosphere of Tiny Desk, right?
me too.
Bound.
I'm trying to think of the musicality of it. I would love to say Diamonds or something, but I don't want to just trap him into the old Kanye. I like the I Wonder pick. I like that.
I still think Heard 'Em Say is a good one. I mean, Heard 'Em Say is a good one. I'm trying to think about the
What about the
backgrounds.
Glory? We don't talk about the Glory.
I
You
don't
know
think
what? No, this is what I would pick for the fifth one. The Original Home with John Legend.
that's a crazy record.
That's a crazy record. Mad Max with the super chat says Usher blew up, but I think the Rakim one made rappers think it was okay to go on. This more. I don't know how long ago the Rakim joint was though. I remember when Rakim did that. I forgot all about that. Yep. Shout out to Rakim. We made you.
Well, speaking of Tiny Desk, you want to talk about Mike? You want to go to Juvenile? I think 400 Degreez.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I want to talk about this because Juvenile recently did a Tiny Desk, but Juvenile shot a video for the song 400 Degreez. And I've always said, man, this is something that record labels should do to kind of, I don't want to say revamp catalogs, but since we're in the streaming era, there are a lot of songs that would have videos in today's time because video budgets are pretty much nothing, but didn't have videos back in the day. Like you got what would you say is your favorite hip hop song that you wish had a music video? And I'm talking to the people, I'm talking to Ron. Like, what hip hop song do you wish had a music video? Off the top of my head, I might say Nas Rewind. We need a music video for that.
I would say Nas Shootouts. That's one of my. I would say Shootouts. I had
What
a
about
list.
I Gave You Power?
I Gave You Powers one.
We never got $1,000,001 from Jay-Z. We never got the Evils. What if Jay shot a video for the Evils right now?
That'll be crazy. That'll be crazy. I mean, I don't think he can do that right now with everything going on.
I mean, yeah, the song's out there, man.
I mean, it's called.
All right, let's be safer. Can I Live? Like, what if Jay shot a video for Can I Live right now in 2024 on the boat with the cigar? That would be so fire.
It would break the internet, brother.
It would. And so I love the fact that people are pulling out records that are street classics in their catalog and making full out music videos for it. I want to say that 3 6 was the first to start doing this. I remember Lord Infamous before he passed. Rest in peace, Lord Infamous. You know, he'd been gone for 10 years now. Lord Infamous been dead for 10 years. But he did a music video for Where's the Bud? Right before he died. Yeah, it was like literally like a month before he died. And I know Project Pat did a music video recently for We Can Get Gangsta. I think he did another one too. He might have did a video for Cheese and Dope or something. But I think that's a great idea. And I wish more artists would do that. But it looks like the artists that are doing that are the ones that kind of have some ownership in their catalog. Because 3-6 probably owns a good majority of some of that underground stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. I had a list back in the day of ones I wanted to do. I think I wanted to reshoot what would Mind Playing Tricks on You look like today. But the video of that was already classic, so you ain't got to redo that one.
Yeah,
but,
they did a great job.
I mean, I'm trying to think. What's another one that could be done?
Shit, guess who's back? Are we talking about Scarface?
Guess who's back? I mean, you got a lot of joints, man.
Yeah.
We should come out with a list. We should do that on a list on another show, like videos that should have been that we want to see today.
Yeah. And there's no reason why it can't get done. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a, like I said, ownership, copyright, publishing thing. But other than that, I mean, music videos don't cost nowhere near as much as what they used to. And you could just upload them on YouTube and you don't have to worry about, whatever network is going to, play the record. Nas has so many that I wish we could have seen music videos for. Because again, if Rewind had a music video for real, it would have been epic.
It'd have been epic. I like On the Real Nas. That's a crazy Blaze of 50.
I love Blaze of 50. Yeah. Dwayne Johnson with the super chat says, "What I love about Tiny Desk is it forces artists to check themselves and take their live performance craft serious. You can't hide behind the studio." Yeah. Critical Mass with the super chat says, "Ambitions as a Rider video would have been out of here." Right.
Imagine you know what? We might start doing that, Mike. We might start doing our own little, our own thing. We ain't like the basement back in the day. We gonna get some MCs. We gonna get like a mic and a stage, and I don't know what we gonna call it, According to Hip Hop Live.
That is a great one right there. 50 Cent, What Up Gangsta.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Man, we got a music video for that. They say I walk around like I got an S on my chest.
You ever walked in a club when that came on? I mean, it's like so serendipitous. You walk in the club when that shit, you buying drinks for everybody. You feel like you're the most invincible person in the world. It's crazy.
Yeah. What Up Gangsta might be one of the best start-off songs to an album ever. It's that and Ambitions of a Rider, I think. I mean, they're hard to beat.
A lot of folks sleep on 50, man. I mean,
I don't think people sleep. Well, yeah.
I mean, people don't have them in that conversation, but I mean, we'll talk about that.
I think it's because of people look at his rhyme pattern as ABC, and I think if you know 50 from, before the Aftermath Association and all that, he changed up his style so he could simplify his style and cater to more people. He dumbed down his style, as Jay would say. James Smith with the super chat says, "I still want a video for Want to Be Starting Something." Listen, man, I think I said this the other day. I might have been like, inebriated or something, but I think that Michael Jackson should have made a video for everything on Thriller. There's no real video for Human Nature. I ain't talking about the cartoon one either, like Lady in My Life. But yeah, Want to Be Starting Something definitely needed a video. HM3, the Trap Cast show, says Pastor Troy did one for No More Play in GA. Diddy? I missed that. That's crazy. Andrew Williams with the super chat says, Nas, what goes around comes around. That would have been a good one too. Michael Williams with the super chat says, Cole's not responding to Dot would be terrible. Would it be a terrible look? Everyone's saying Dot fell off, and Cole is the best rapper alive. If Cole doesn't respond while he's at his zenith and Dot is on the run, that's an L. Listen, hold up. We might as well go ahead and get to that if that's where people want to go.
Let's switch it out real quick.
If y'all think that J. Cole's not gonna respond, I think you're mistaken.
Oh, he's gonna respond.
Drake is allegedly going to respond Friday. Actually, tomorrow. He's on a record. Forgot the artist's name, but Drake has a feature coming up tomorrow where I'm pretty sure he's going to say something. Actually, Drake just posted something on Instagram where he says, They'd rather go to war with me than admit that they're their own worst enemy. Now, that's probably a bar from whatever song that we're about to hear tomorrow. But don't think that J. Cole's not going to respond. But at the very least, you got to know Drake's going to respond. And I guess the question is, if Drake responds, then okay. Drake responds like, is Kendrick going to respond? And how is Kendrick going to respond? I think that's the chess move. AJ3 with the super chat says, Woo Gambino, Rome the Woo, and What Big and Meth. Yeah, the what for sure. We definitely need a music video for the what, especially at the end of that One More Chance remix video. I always thought that they were going to go right into it. Mad Max with the super chat says, if he did a video for every song on Thriller, he would have sold 1 trillion copies. I mean, it's crazy because the last video he did was Thriller. And so that music video is what really got the record sales going into a stratosphere that nobody saw before. It was already selling crazy amounts. And the music video for Thriller came out in 84 when the album came out in 82. And then, yeah, at that point, it started literally selling like hotcakes.
I mean, Prince got about 50 songs he should have a video for, you know what I mean?
But, yeah. So, yeah, I think that it's dope that artists are doing that. But, yeah, as far as the J. Cole thing, I believe J. Cole is going to respond. Like I said, I think most of the stuff from the song was directed at Drake directly. So you're definitely going to get a Drake response. Drake's definitely going to respond appropriately and probably, swiftly. I expect him to respond on the record tomorrow. And when he responds, whether good or bad, I think the internet's going to go nuts. But the question is, how does Kanye? How does Kendrick respond when Drake actually responds? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
because Kendrick's not a volume song maker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna just go record for record, week for week. And y'all can't expect that from Cole either. Like, how long do y'all think it's gonna take Cole to actually respond to this? And how does Cole respond to this? Like, what do you think Cole needs to do to respond?
I think Cole needs to just drop an album, and that's going to be his response. I mean, I think Cole has demonstrated to me, and at least me, to my ears, that he's a better MC. I mean, that's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, his run of features over the last year or so, him linking up with Drake, I think Cole's got it right now. So I think the only thing Cole needs to do is drop an album, and that's better than Mr. Morales. And then I think he's good to go. I think that's his best response at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think he could really go to Ice Cube route with Death Certificate, where you make a dope ass album, and if you want to, at the very, very end, and don't even speak on this person the whole album, at the very, very end, throw No Vaseline out there. James Smith with the super chat says, would I also love the music video for Mona Lisa, Slick Rick? Yeah, that's another classic that has no video. And you get a lot of records from that era that are classic records that don't have a video. We don't have an Eric B. as President music video. You know how crazy that is? We do not have an Eric B. as for President music video. Wow. A lot of stuff going on with Puff.
You want to jump to Puff? I know you want to talk about Future and his subliminals to Drake. What you think?
Well, yeah, I guess we can go there. I mean, I don't know where the Future and Drake thing comes from. People are saying that it comes from a woman. I do think that there's a competitiveness. And this is the thing, man. I've said this before. You and I even did a Future and Drake, station head where we were going record for record. I think in Future's mind, as he should, he feels like he's just as talented, if not more talented than Drake. And from a competitive standpoint, why shouldn't he feel that he deserves that same level of adulation? He gets left out of the conversation altogether, really. And I think that's because he has such an unorthodox way of making music. But if he wants to turn up the competitiveness with Drake, I understand and I don't see a problem with it because he has actually carried Drake on a lot of records. And maybe from a behind the scenes standpoint, Future may feel like he's a better writer than Drake.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think Future. I don't know.
I mean, do you think from I mean, who's the better? I mean, it's hard to say who's the better artist without saying Drake, but
I mean, you put the numbers. Put the numbers.
I
Numbers
mean,
don't
the
lie.
numbers are the numbers. It ain't even about the numbers. It's from a creative standpoint. If you go to my creative mind about it and you ask me who I'm picking between the two, definitely picking Future as a creative.
Why would you say that? Because Drake has so many different pockets. He's got the R&B pocket where he can just sing song R&B shit. He's got that Afro beats Caribbean pocket he can jump into. He's got the dance pocket and world music pocket he can jump into. He got the rapidy rap pocket he can jump into. He can jump in stuff with 21 Savage. So I mean, from a diversity standpoint, he got everything covered. I think Future has like one track. You know what I mean?
I think the thing is, man, like Future is an originator of what he does, where it's like Drake feels like he's kind of latching on to.
Is he? Because Kanye said he birthed Future. Kanye said he was the one that kind of created that sound with the auto tune.
He said he birthed Drake too, but and I think he birthed the whole generation. He's a different conversation. I'm just talking about how they're able to continuously navigate and make what they're making. I mean, Codeine Crazy is like, he's a one of one with that type of stuff. And even Mask Off and March Madness. But with Drake and his different styles, if you will, it's kind of latching on to, whatever artist or whatever style that, is popping in the moment. Mad Max says Kendrick is a audible mumble rap. Listen to how, I'm sorry, he says, listen to how he rhymes, and now ad lib sound effects. Nicki Minaj voice changes. His responses to theirs may be worse than the Nicki Meg joint.
See, me and Mad Max on the same page, man. We
Mad Max ain't feeling Kendrick like that.
I ain't feeling Kendrick either. I never felt Kendrick. I was telling Mike for years that I never really felt his record. I think he tries too hard. I just think his records are cool. I mean, they're just cool. They're all right. But I mean, all this, I think Interscope got behind and made people think that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he's not. And I just don't feel it.
Well, he's not the number 2 rapper of all time. I think that is a huge miscalculation. And I think that when Billboard did that, they stirred up the Waltz's nest in a whole lot of ways, but you overrated him. And, and I like Kendrick. I think Kendrick's had a great career. Dope catalog. He could spit. He's a dope MC. But when you put him number 2 all time, that's overrating him. And I think he would even say that. You know what I mean? Mad Max in the super chat says, they say More M's was about Future. If that's true, Drake's sub so elite that he actually has people thinking that he's under attack when he is the one attacking. I could see that, Mad Max, because I think outside of Jay-Z, and maybe he surpassed Jay-Z in this, Drake might be the king of subliminals. Because when he said, you know me as a Chris bottle sipper, check picker upper, like, dang, that was slick, man. Talking about the Chris Brown situation, like, damn, man.
And Drake's low-key savage with this shit, bro.
I was like, whoa.
He low-key savage with this shit, bro.
I'm telling y'all, man, don't be surprised if Kendrick gets hit with some slick shots, man. Just saying. Because really, in all fairness, Drake's really the underdog here. No one, I don't want to say no one, but many people don't expect him to out-rap Kendrick Lamar. Is that fair?
I expect that.
Because you don't really fuck with Kendrick like that. But for people who fuck with Kendrick and even fuck with Drake, they don't expect Drake to out-rap Kendrick. Shit, people didn't expect Drake to out-rap Meek. Remember that?
Man, I knew he was going to out-rap.
I mean, Meek's supposed to be a battle rapper, man. Let's not Monday morning quarterback. We know that Meek didn't really... People didn't think that Drake was going to beat Meek in a battle because Meek comes from the battle world.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Andrew
true.
Williams with the super chat says K Dot fans doing reverse psychology. They're afraid of Cole.
I like Andrew Williams. I agree, brother.
Matt Max with the super chat says, and Kendrick is clearly for people who want to hear more clear lyrics, but still have that mumble sound that makes him feel elite.
Yep, I agree, man. I like Mad Max, man. I like where Mad Max is going with this. Mad Max, you need to call in the show, man.
Yeah, Mad Max, you got to call in the number, man. We got to
call it in. Or you got two ways you can do it. You either call the number, or you can jump on the link. I'm gonna put the link in about a few minutes as we go through a couple topics, but you can do both ways.
So are we even going to talk about Puffy today?
I think so, man. I think so. People have been talking about Puff. I had a couple calls,
Meek did fumble the W. Yes, he did.
I had a couple.
How did Meek not find the blackface photo, man?
Yeah, he fumbled it. He fumbled. I had a couple calls today, and it's funny. Every call I had, somebody brought up the Diddy stuff, right? So it's kind of awkward because, like I said, I don't, it was like, hey, Ron, man, do you know anything about the Diddy situation? I said, nah, man, I don't know nothing about that. But, I know it's unfortunate. So we'll talk about it. What's your thoughts on this Diddy situation? And
it's just
I got some comments as well, but I'll let you, share your thoughts, Mike.
It's a lot. I think that I think it's interesting that people aren't letting anything play out. It's an onslaught. This is what an onslaught looks like. And I think that there are so many theories out there that, people feel like he sued a big, powerful company. And this is get back for that. But I'll say this. I think that if you have true grassroots support and have truly been rooted in many things, you can avoid things like this. I know that Puff was putting the Grammys on blast, telling them to do the right thing, or else, or whatnot. Then I remember during the election season where he was telling both parties that the black vote is for sale and this and that. And then, he ended up kind of falling in line, closer to the election. And then you have this situation with Ciroc and Deleon and the owners of that. And then coincidentally, all of this happens. The timing is wild, but I think that what's interesting though is the lack of support from people that have always put themselves close to him, like a DJ Khaled, for instance. That you would think that people who are that close to somebody like that, they would come out with words of support to some degree. I think Stevie J is the only one, and Stevie J just challenged 50 Cent to a boxing match. But it's a lot going on, and I think it's going to be a lot to unfold. I kind of stayed away from, I guess, a lot of the headlines with it because all of these things right now are accusations, alleged, and things like that. And so, we're just going to have to see how it plays out. I just think that it's interesting that people aren't allowing it to play out. And I guess I get it. It's Puff. Puff's probably one of the biggest names in hip hop history, right? I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, he's an architect of hip hop since the early 90s, man, late 80s, man. He's been involved in the culture. So Notorious B.I.G., Craig Mack, the Locks, Mace, Loon.
I guess the question is, and
Mary
not to
J,
interrupt.
Jodeci.
Yeah, his impact is crazy. His impact is crazy.
Heavy D. I mean, he put Neptunes on. I mean, some of their first placements. I mean,
Missy, some of her first placements.
I mean, so he's a legendary act, man. I mean, Total, Faith. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like. I mean, it's a story. I mean, we keep it a buck. I mean, we've heard things. I mean, 50's been talking about this for years. You know what I mean? So a lot of this information that's coming out is not earth-shattering news. I'm of the mind of letting it play out. I'm not gonna celebrate you know a situation where somebody's going down. Let the situation play out. I mean,
And justice needs to be served, but we need to know, the
right,
details and factual information before, there
right,
is justice,
right. I just think it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just an unfortunate
I
situation.
guess my question from here, and this is for everybody, like, even if, let's just say hypothetically, he's exonerated of everything, is Diddy done?
Oh yeah, I think he's done. I think you'll never see him on Jimmy Kimmel's show from a mainstream artist perspective. You will never see him on back in the day. He was on Ellen show. He was on Jay Leno, David Letterman, Jimmy Kimmel. What's my man? Jimmy Fallon. You're not gonna see him on any mainstream talk shows anymore. He probably won't be at the award shows. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any inside information on this, but they did cancel the Rock Nation brunch this year. I think a part of that was because of the situation going on with Puff. I mean, that was some of the word on the street was they canceled the event because they didn't want to not invite Puff because Puff was, out of loyalty or some situation like that. So I don't know. 50 Cent's been on
Mhm.
it for a while. I'm about to share 50's Instagram. I mean,
Oh, goodness.
he's got a documentary coming out. I think he put the poster out for it I think yesterday. And
Is he serious about the documentary? Is he trolling? You can never really
no,
tell.
I think he's serious. He said he's putting money up for the footage. He wants some footage of what was going on. I think he has a personal vendetta. I was reading a couple comments, couple different threads. They said 50 has like a personal vendetta, and if you read any 50's books and kind of understand his mindset, he talks about destroying his enemies totally. And I think Puff kind of blackballed him in the beginning of his career, and he never forgot it. So this is kind of his payback. You know
It's
what I
like a
mean?
Jordan, Isaiah Thomas type situation, huh?
Right. This movie poster is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
What does that say? It says, case files.
Did he
Wow.
do it? Did he do it? And he's got like the young Puff, the middle aged Puff. It's a crazy, crazy situation, man. And then he's got
Mm.
some more stuff coming on. It says like a movie. You know what I mean? He's going
He's
after
doing
Jay.
more?
Yeah, he did this video. He did this video of Puff, P Diddy escaping after the raid. You know what I'm saying? It's just you know.
Yeah, it's over the top. But again, he's consistent with his because he's always kind of been going in pub. Same thing with Suge, but a lot of other people are kind of it seems like a pile on. Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, fellas, do y'all think the Young Miami will win hip hop podcast of the year for the third year in a row? Not this time.
No.
James Smith with the super chat says, I'm convinced Mad Max be sniffing. Mad Max with the super chat says, this is a media lynching / sacrifice. The guys in power are not rocking with Diddy. So it's time to get him out of here without actually killing him.
Damn.
I think that there's another super chat. Lord with the super chat says K Dot's going to wrap circles around Drake and J. Cole. All right, predictions are in. I don't know, man. Like I said, I do think that this is like Russell Simmons 2.0 because it's really interesting to me when I follow Russell on Instagram and kind of see some of his meditations and this and that. We're looking at a man who founded Def Jam Records, Def Comedy Jam, Fat Farm, Baby Fat, The Rush Card, Rush Management, and he's out here living in a treehouse in Bali. It's wild, man.
He's
Like
scared, man.
it's wild, man. And I don't know, man. It's just wild to
I mean,
see
it's I
people
mean,
who've
it's just
accomplished so much.
it's sad, but if you understand what they say, how the inner workings of the music industry is, and I've heard it. I mean, so we can take it with a grain of salt. If you don't engage in those type of things, you be straight. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. I saw a meme the other day. Somebody was like, they call Kanye crazy, but you never seen him at one of them parties. So
No, you never see him. And 50 talking all this. 50's must be. Somebody asked me today. It's like, how could 50 say all the stuff about Puff? He must not be doing anything. I said, yeah. I mean, if he's talking all this, he must be on
it
the
must
up
be
and up.
yeah.
Must be on the up and up, man. Must be on the up and up, man.
Well, speaking of Bad Boy, Life After Death just celebrated an anniversary. Is Life After Death by the Notorious B.I.G. the greatest double disc, I guess, ever, or in hip hop? Let's just stick to hip hop.
Is it the greatest double disc in hip hop?
I've always thought so.
Whew. It's better than Wu-Tang Forever?
Yeah.
It's better than Art of War, Bone?
Yeah, of course. And I love Bone.
8 Balls Lost?
Of course. That was a triple disc. I think the only one that's competition is All Eyes on Me. I would give Life After Death the edge because of disc 2 on All Eyes on Me. But
Nelly's Sweating Suit. I'm trying to, I know that's not, I mean, I'm trying to name one more. Wu-Tang Forever.
I remember when the Source gave Life After Death 5 mics.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
A lot of us felt like they did that because Biggie had just, passed. But that's a 5 mic album. And it's actually the first album they gave 5 mics to after Illmatic. So Illmatic got 5 in 94. And then Life After Death got it in 97. So there was a really big gap. And it's really interesting because we always talk about how great 95 and 96 were for hip hop, probably the 2 greatest hip hop years ever. And nothing in 95 or 96 got 5 mics. So at that point, us as fans, as kids at the time, we're thinking that the 5 mic mark is just untouchable. And so when you hear Only Built for Cuban Links, you hear, the Reasonable Doubts out there and, all these great albums. And then Life After Death gets 5 mics. You're like, oh, okay, well, was this really deserved? Do you think that Life After Death is a 5 mic album?
I think it is a 5 mic album.
I think so too.
You got Hypnotized. You got You're Nobody Till Someone Kills You. You got What's Beef. You got I Love the Dough. You got Sky's the Limit. You got More Money, More Problems. You got 10 Crack Commandments. You got, it's a lot of records on that joint. My favorite record on the album, one of my favorite records of Biggie, I think it's a top 20 Biggie song, is I Got a Story to Tell.
Yeah.
Great record. I was like, what, 12, 13 years old. I had it on repeat. I had a Sony Discman. And I used to go to school. I kick flows for you, kick down. I used to talk to girls with that line. My grandma would be like, "What the hell are you talking about, boy?" But that was, and in the skit at the end, they said it's a true story. He's talking about like Anthony Mason or something from the Knicks.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Anthony Mason. And I don't like the fact they put that out there after Anthony Mason passed, man.
Right, but I like that. Stevie J was in the studio with that. I think Chucky Thompson did that record. Rest in peace to Chucky Thompson. I think Chucky Thompson's dead.
Did Chucky Thompson do that? I thought that was that not Carlos Brody? It might
not. Chucky Thompson did that. I think Chucky Thompson passed. So
he did.
Rest in peace to Chucky Thompson, the Hitman, man. But it's a 5 mic album.
I think that my only trepidation with that, at least back then, was the fact that it had skippable material on it. You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
You've Been Robbed. Like the record with Kim. I think
that's a Nasty Girl record, right?
No, not Nasty. No, not that one. It was the I Need Another Bitch, that record. That Nasty Boy was all right. I liked it, but I could see how that was not 5 mic material. The record with 112, was it Missing You? It was cool, but yeah, it had some moments on it that kind of dipped. But again, it was a double disc. I think that my way of thinking now is this album was so far advanced from everything else that was around it. It did deserve that 5 mics because I think it set the template and the blueprint, if you will, for albums that were coming after it, to make complete albums, to make street records, the radio records, the records that were, collabo records, just him adjusting to what Bone was doing, the versatility. It showed more versatility than I think we've ever seen anybody show on the mic at that time. And I think it set the stage for what we were about to hear in 97, 98, 99, and shit, even the early 2000s. So definitely a 5 mic effort. And yeah, well deserved. I think it is the best double disc in hip hop history.
Hey, yo, I just got an idea, but I'll talk to you about that idea offline.
Okay.
I think we can make that happen.
Okay, cool. James Smith with the super chat says 50's baby mama just accused him of, and physical assault an hour ago. He literally posted a pic of her and Puffy and called her a sex worker. It's ugly, man. It's really getting ugly, and unfortunately there's a kid involved here, and that's never cool.
I mean, she's doing that because I think he's filing. I saw a report he's filing for sole custody of their son because of the allegations that she's a sex worker. I don't think 50 did that. So I think I
don't know 50. I don't know the situation.
I don't know. I think so. You just got to judge a person by their actions. He wouldn't be out here doing all this stuff and talking all this stuff if he had something like that. I mean, that's something that people go to in their time of desperation. Oh, he hit me. It's just I don't know him at all, but I'm just saying if I'm putting 2 and 2 together, what it looks like, using my mind, it looks like that she's scrambling right now. That's what it looks like.
We're about to go to the phone calls in a second. I know Tariq Nasheed is actually about to release his Microphone Check documentary on hip hop. And it's funny, man. The mic checks, this show, it's kind of happening on and off well before he even came up with this name. And when he came up with that name, I was like, that's dope. I love it. And I think it's really fitting for what the documentary is about. He's speaking about some of the, I guess, looked over people in the founding of hip hop. The whole notion or the conversation about Blacks and Puerto Ricans started hip hop 50-50 is kind of what spawned this documentary, from what I'm understanding. And we want to get the truth out there, and it's going to be interesting to see with all of the people that he was able to galvanize in getting this documentary. It's going to be interesting to see how it appears on screen. And I mean, I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot of things because I love sitting around listening to the OGs talk about their experiences and talking about what they lived through. There's no excuse for us to have a skewed or a false narrative of what happened in the origins of hip hop, because everybody, I won't say everybody, but there's so many people who are alive and well and able to tell their stories. And I'm just mad it's taken this long. We're in 2024. We should have been able to get the real story in 1980, 1990. So what do you think about this this doc? And I know it's doing a screening in Atlanta. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. We're gonna reach out. We'll probably do a review of the film. Actually, we may try to go to the New York screening and try to do an interview with him to kind of understand where he was coming from. There's gonna be a screening in New Orleans. I think he's got one in Detroit, Chicago, Dallas. They're working on Houston and one in LA. But I think it's important. I think we need to kind of talk about the history, the origins of hip hop. A lot of people have misappropriated where it came from. They said it was created in Africa or it was created by Latin America. But hip hop, and I think what he's trying to convey in this film is his words, a foundational Black American art form that was created by Black people.
And you know what? No one should be ashamed. If that's what it is, no one should feel like they need to include anyone else in that if that's what it is. Like, give credit where credit's due. Like, if I created something without, this person over here and this person over here, it's okay to say that person created that. And then later on, that other person added on to this, that, and the third. That's fine. Like, and I think that, if that's what's happening, and I think that's where the narrative or at least the documentary came from, is that narrative of it's saying like it's 50-50. It's like, wait a minute, we need to go ahead and dial this back and let you know it's not 50-50. And not with any malice, but just giving the facts and giving history. It's about telling history appropriately.
Right, right. And it's some I mean, we can't, I think a lot of times people are taking things that a certain community created and making it theirs. They're co-opting it. And I think what Tariq Nasheed is trying to show is that, this is a black art form. This was created by foundational black Americans, but we're gonna check the movie out. I'm about to put the link in the chat. And I want everybody to call in. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make a comment. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and y'all call in. But yeah, what do you think about the people that are pushing back on the film, Mike?
I mean, what's there to push back about? If the information is bogus, then the information is bogus. If it's factual, it's factual. I mean, from what I'm understanding, Melly Mel's in the film. I think everybody is in the film. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people who are solidified and people who are credentialized. And I mean, what are you going to say? Are you going to say that they're not telling the truth? I mean, I didn't hear about Disco King Mario until recently, to be honest, the past couple of years. And it's a shame because, I mean, as a hip hop fan and as a hip hop head, I should have known that name. I should have known that history. It's not a whole lot of documentation out there about it. I know when we were interviewing Pete Rock and he mentioned Disco King Mario, I'm like, wow, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, people's names are finally being brought to the forefront. So with that being said, anybody pushing back on this for whatever reason, do you not want the possible truth to come out? Because if it's bogus, it's bogus, right? If it comes out and you see that it's inaccurate, then you can push back. But if you haven't seen it and you just know that this is the position it's going to take and you're pushing back on that, it sounds like you're hiding something.
Right.
Laura with the super chat says, y'all refuse to acknowledge the West Coast. All Eyes on Me is the best double disc. One day y'all will. I love All Eyes on Me. I think All Eyes on Me is the second best double disc ever. I think it set the tone for the double disc. Tupac created the double disc in hip hop. After he did it, everybody else did it. I think that Big and Puff, they had time to go back and analyze everything that went right and that went wrong with All Eyes on Me and made sure that they tried their best to do a better version of it. And I think that, I think that overall, Life After Death's the better double disc. But if somebody said that, you know what, All Eyes on Me set the foundation for it and that's why it's better, I ain't mad at that either because they're very close.
Very, very close.
I want to know what Leroy Green thinks about this Tariq Nasheed documentary because
I think Leroy about to hop on. Yeah, he about to hop on.
Yeah, hop on, Leroy. Pause. Zuri with the super chat says, there's weak tracks on Life After Death. There are, but do y'all feel like, which album has more weak tracks? Because I would argue that
Life After Death has more weak tracks than All Eyes on Me. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I would argue that All Eyes on Me has more weak tracks.
We need to do a deep dive and analysis on that. Let's add Leroy
song for song with those. I just think this too is where All Eyes on Me kind of suffers. Yo, Leroy, what's good, brother?
What up? How y'all doing?
Good. Turn your volume down just a little bit. You peaking on my end.
Woo! Okay, I'm about to record some shit, man. I don't even know. You know what I mean? But salute the whole, according to hip hop, cool. I'm gonna let y'all iron that out. I'm sure everything's good. Both of you guys, we can support both guys. It's not a big deal. We can support both. You know what I mean? It's not a big.
We appreciate you, Leroy, for real.
Yeah. Where y'all
on? Do you want to start with the mic check, the Tariq Nasheed documentary? What are your thoughts on that?
I support whatever Tariq Nasheed is doing. Now,
Okay.
when we talk about our own people, we're looking for perfection. Is this the perfect human being to support? He ain't got to be the perfect human being. What matters is, does his documentary work, does he put effort into doing his homework? It ain't a take it off him, put it on his work.
Yeah.
The brother puts effort into doing his homework. And that's what matters is the content, the work, not whether or not we like him or don't like him. Is the work factual? When he goes through his documentary work, he's checking, he's cross-referencing, he's doing his one check, two check. He's getting witnesses, he's getting firsthand testimony, he's getting the artists themselves, he's getting people that were there. So come on.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I would ask you, because I guess I'm out of the loop in that, and I follow, what Tariq does. I watch some of his shows.
Right.
What problems do people have with Tariq specifically?
I think because they kind of they know his background is to being kind of a ladies' man, and again,
those past go,
yeah. If you go back on a person 20 years ago and they were a player, I mean, that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? It makes sense, but
to me that seems like reaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, do you have a problem with? I guess not you, but do they have a problem with anything that he's done recently? Like, I know that, and I know some people personally, and I don't like, throwing people's names out there, but let's just say Umar. I like a lot of things that Umar says, but some people had issue with the school and how those things were handled, yada, yada, with people's money, whatever. If those are legitimate gripes or whatever, that's recent stuff, and that's fair. I know what I've always respected about Tariq, especially with the Hidden Colors series. When he would tell people that he's going to get a movie done and he would raise money for it, that movie gets done. When he wanted to raise money for that museum, the museum got done.
The man is working.
You got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got done. He never went out there and put out or proposed a project and took people's money and it didn't get done.
Right. I mean, as far as Umar goes, like I said, I'm a different kind of person. Like, and if you feel a way, if you donated money and you feel you didn't get what you donated toward, I understand that. To make a school, I think maybe Umar took on an undertaking that was more than he projected. Because if you think about it yourself, I'm going to start a charter school.
That's hard.
You need millions of dollars. We're thinking hundreds of thousands. No, you need millions of dollars, tens of millions to start a charter school. That's just a fact.
And then there's red tape. Then there's politics and all that stuff involved as well.
I appreciate the brother for trying, because if I were to tell black folks their real history, it would be shocking. It would be completely shocking. Okay? And that brings me to another point of a Beyonce album, real quick. Whether you like,
ask you about that. You threw up the rock sign. I was going to ask you about that.
Whether you like her music or not, understand, Beyonce holding an American flag, it don't mean much to us. We know we're from America. There's another side to that, which they're offended when they see Beyonce holding an American flag. Huh?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay, so they're offended seeing a Beyonce hold an American flag. Now, everybody might not understand that because they'll be like, well, hold on. She's from Houston, Texas. How are you going to be offended by that? She of course, can make country music. Again, we're used to talking to ourselves as a people. We're not used to crossing the other side of the tracks and hearing their opinion on our people. It's very different. I can assure.
Let's go there real quick, because you know what? At first, I was kind of like on the fence about what I felt about this Beyonce country album. And then I thought about it, and I thought about our roots in country music. And I'm like, you know what? I think this is great. And not to mention the fact that people like Shania Twain, respectfully, are from Canada. And they don't really have any connection with the Deep South and country music in America like that, but were accepted as country music artists. And I'm like, This woman is from Houston, Texas, and comes from the lineage of the root of country music, and they're trying to tell her that she can't do it. There's something wrong with that.
You know why? And again, country, I don't got a problem with country. And I don't got to, if you're white, black, I don't got a problem with any of y'all. Matter of fact, country has great storytelling. You have great concepts, great themes, great songs. I don't have a great songwriting. There is a particular pain in black folks engaging in that type of music. That a particular pain to which not every we understand. But it's going to be hard for the rest of the world to understand where that comes from. Now, Beyonce, she's good at what she do, whether you like her or not. And she can tap into zones that go back into her roots, whether you like her or not. Mm-hmm. So I to me, Beyonce has crossed the threshold as into artist and artivist or someone. What she does is not just music. It's a statement of I'm here, and you're gonna have to accept me. Now,
Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says we conflate/confuse hip hop with just being rap. The origins of rappers were largely black, but a lot of DJs, breakers, and graffiti artists were Latino. Well, see, I think that's where this film comes from because many of the people who were doing that first as well were Black Americans. The first graffiti artist, Cornbread, Black American out of Philadelphia. The first breakers, Black American. First DJs, Black American. So I think that what's happened over history, over time, the people who adapted to what some of the Black Americans start doing are getting credit for being originators when they kind of, saw what was already going on and added on to it. When you need people to add on to it, that's how things grow. But there's a difference between being a contributor and being the creator. You know what I mean?
Right. No, they're definitely.
That's what he's trying to differentiate in this documentary, from what I'm understanding.
He is that's the mission. But I would I would say to Black Americans in hip hop, we don't have to fight every battle. If Latinos feel like they had something to contribute, we'll just say, hey, salute. You know what I mean? I mean, that's my opinion. You can fight the battle if you want, though. But
why do you think the battle even needs to be fought why do you think there is even a battle in the first place? Like, why can't people just give credit where credit's due and just say, yeah, you started that and we participated later on?
I mean, I think some things to me are just obvious. Like, if you Google hip hop, how many black faces are you gonna see?
Yeah.
99% of all the faces you're gonna see is a black face. So I don't think we have to fight this battle. But if we're gonna engage in it, I would just say to my Latinos, I understand that. Now they feel a way, but I'm not here to attack. I don't think we should attack others on certain grounds. We could just say, hey, if you feel how you want to feel, salute. But we already solidified. Black folks already solidified in hip hop. Hip hop came out of New York. New York is in America. What are we talking about? You know what I mean?
Speaking of New York, you got any thoughts on this Diddy stuff and all that's going on?
I'm just saying people think whatever you want to think. I'm not here to tell you what you should think. I would say for me personally, coming from a place where I was coming of age when Biggie and Tupac died, briefly we're going to life after death. Imagine making an album in the midst of beef where dying is a probability. And now you got to make that album. And he's 24.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. But Puff came out of that and reminded us to dance. I will always respect that. Because he could have came out on I'm just going to go to war with everybody, even though that may not be his personality. But he didn't do that. He came out with everybody, let's just dance. Now that may sound corny or whatever the case may be, but if we were all caught up in dancing, and everybody, let's get back to dancing instead of fighting, shooting. Go find a female and dance with her.
Yeah,
I gotta respect that. Because that's what we should be on. You know what I mean? So I respect Diddy. Again, people think it's about Diddy. I get it. Diddy's all right. He's a man. He's all right. He can fight his own battles. What people don't understand is Diddy is the foundation for a larger tree. There are branches that connect through hip hop that all came from the Diddy tree. So now they're all being looked at as a certain way, and that's not fair. Not everybody was caught up in Diddy's party life. Not everybody was caught up in Diddy's bedroom. Not everybody was, so that's why I feel away. That's why I'm not celebrating his downfall. It's not because of him. It's because of all the connected tree branches throughout the industry that got nothing to do with with this. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. I mean, we talk about the Chinese suit era and all of that, and a lot of the times it gets a negative connotation. But when you look back at it, and for the people who were there at the time and how tumultuous everything was getting in hip hop, we needed that shiny suit era. We needed that at that time. 97, we needed that because hip hop was in a very dark place. 97 is one of those transitional years, and Puffy took over that year and gave people something to be joyous about. And like you said, bringing the whole dancing thing back. Hip hop had gotten, I hate to say it like this, but it had gotten too hard, like too hardcore. And it wasn't just hardcore for cameras anymore. It was actual, life loss behind this. It was great when DMX came back and turned everything, back up and turned it back upside down. But for that moment, we did need a little dance break.
Yeah, we love X, and X is the counter. He's the polarity. He's the counterbalance to the shiny suit, which is we love X. You know what I mean? But if you get to the point where you're so hard, you can't smile, you can't dance, you can't interact with a female, you can't have friends with nobody. All you do is just out here warring, and all your songs is just warring, kill, this and that. That's a problem. You know what I mean? That's a problem that we're still in 2024 not quite getting past. And we need to get past that, man. We need to get past that. I get it. Everybody is tough. I get it. You're all tough, and I that's fine. But let's get back to having a good time.
Yeah.
Let's get back to having
hip hop is about balance. Life is about balance. But hip hop needed that balance in that moment. I know people in the chat are saying, like, y'all like the shiny suit era now. It's not about liking it or not. It's about understanding what you need at the time. Like you don't necessarily like Brussels sprouts, but you need your balance of vegetables. And
hold on.
Shiny suit era was vegetables, but you need balance.
You people trying to front like you didn't like that era? You didn't like the shiny suit era?
Bro, I went out there and bought those yellow Air Force Ones that was in the More Money, More Problems video.
You didn't like Mace? You didn't like No Way Out? You didn't like Biggie and More Money, More Problems? Come on now. Who we lying to? Okay. Okay. Come on now. You like that because it gave you the opportunity to dance. And that's what y'all wanted to do. What were you? You was like 10 years old. Most of us, we was like 10 years old. You didn't want to dance? Come on now.
I mean, every time that Can't Nobody Hold Me Down comes on, I start bobbing, man. It happens.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We got to get back to that.
They're saying that, I love this to the level that I love DMX stuff or Scarface stuff. There's levels to it, obviously, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's got to be a balance. And even Scarface and all your hardest gangster, when they want to chill sometimes. They're not hard all the time. They want to chill. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No one is saying that music absolves the BS. We're just saying also, from a balance standpoint, the BS doesn't obliterate the music either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and they still have
to separate the person from the art, and his impact on the game. I just, this is my thing, Leroy, and I just hate to see people who did game-changing, life-altering work. I hate to see their work get erased by what they've done as a person. And I think that as gatekeepers of the culture, we can allow people, we can make sure that people are, either punished or, take responsibility for what they've done. But I think stripping their impact away and acting like it didn't happen actually hurts the culture.
Right. And I'm just saying, like, nobody's perfect, man. That's one. Two, the universe don't miss. When the universe decides to come back for you, the universe don't miss. So whatever you did, if your scales is off and you need to balance those scales, or you need to, do whatever you got to do, the universe is not gonna miss. It catches everything. You know what I mean? So it's not, we don't have to judge, or we don't have to go after anybody. That's the universe job, because the universe gonna come back for you too. You know what I mean? The universe gonna come back for you. So we don't got to do that. But it's like, I'm not going to dance on this person's demise. I mean, for people that want to do that, I'm not mad, but because, I don't know what Diddy be doing, and I'm not checking. I really don't care. But it's like, again, there are people that are surrounded that, when you see an artist, you see 20 different people around them. When you see a hip hop mogul, that's hundreds of people around them making that shit sell, That's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of jobs. And they black folks like us. They wasn't involved in Diddy's antics like that. So now they gotta go look for a new job and stuff like that. And I'm just not celebrating. And that's how I see it.
It's like, and when you say it in those terms, it's like when people, and I'm just saying randomly, let's just say black folks would say, you know what, we're gonna boycott Walmart or whatever.
Right.
When you do that, the people that you're hurting are the black folks that work there. You know what I mean? They're going to be the ones to let go.
Hello.
You got to understand, you got to be strategic about it. I mean, it's not the 60s where once we're integrated into society, there's ways that if you go out there and try to seemingly hurt the machine still has a way of hurting our people as well.
Exactly. Hip hop got to be here. These platforms got to be here. I was just talking to the Fresh Out guys the other day about, for barbarians and people who are true to the culture need their own arena, our own coliseum to be barbarians. Yeah. But it's like hip hop has its role, and I understand we are against the machine, right? But at the bottom of that machine, our people are trapped in the gears. So when you try to tear down this machine, just be careful of you're not crushing your own at the bottom of that machine. It would be in our better interest for us to learn the machine, for us to go in there with a specific intent and maybe try to replicate something like Diddy did without all the antics, without all the messy stuff, and just handle our business. You know what I mean? Instead of tearing down the whole machine. You know what I mean? I make music. I want to make some revolutionary, go outside and really turn it up. But I would be putting y'all at risk if you follow that. So I'm not, we got to be more strategic than that. You know what I mean?
Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, we need to gatekeep hip hop like country gatekeeps their genre. We should be able to say Lil Nas X, Post Malone, just because sometimes you rhyme words together does not make you hip hop. I remember, and I don't want to keep you on too long, Leroy, because we probably, I know some other people probably want to get in. But I remember when people would say that the Black Eyed Peas weren't a hip hop group, and
what?
I just found that interesting, man. Like this when they did the Super Bowl, because they were technically the first hip hop group to do, or first hip hop act to do the Super Bowl, but it was never acknowledged in that way. And
yeah.
It's because Fergie's in the group, but when you think about hip hop in the 80s, and I would say the same thing for like Missy Elliott, the way that the Black Eyed Peas made music, even when Fergie was in the group, it sounds like some of the stuff that you would hear from some 80s hip hop. And I'm like, when did it get to a point where people feel like they're pop rap? Like Mad Max just said in the chat, like, what does that even mean? Are the Black Eyed Peas not hip hop enough? And if so,
the Black Eyed Peas are hip hop. Period. Now, if you think they're pop, they can be that too. But you don't know enough about them to say what they are and what they're not. And not you, but just a lot of people. They're gonna be like, well, I listen to Wu-Tang and Slaughterhouse, so that's hip hop. I understand that. But them being hip hop does not mean Black Eyed Peas is not hip hop. You put Will I Am in the studio, he's gonna know what to do. And any way you want to make it, boom bap or whatever you want to do, he's familiar. Okay. Now, granted, we have our own opinions on what's real hip hop, and maybe we need to separate these things and make our own lanes now. But Black Eyed Peas, in my view, are definitely hip hop. And it's like, look, if I go out there and I'm trying to get Suburbia to support my music, and all my music is poppy and all the stuff like that, that doesn't take away from the fact that to get there, I probably went through all the underground circuits. I probably went through all the boom bap circuits. I probably had all the battles. I probably had all the freestyles. I probably did all the lyrical miracles songs that you could do. You know, I didn't just get there because I decided to go get white folks as a fan base. You know what I mean? And that
adding Fergie to your group make you no longer a hip hop group, because that's what people are talking about. Because I think this undisputed, you know, with Fergie or whatever, that Black Eyed Peas was hip hop. But when they came with Fergie and their group, in my opinion, they're still a hip hop group.
When was Fergie born?
Crossover hip hop. I mean, crossover pop song.
Fergie was born in the era of hip hop. So who can tell? Because she's white, she's not hip hop. That's where we're going.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, she rapped too. Like, I don't know what people's thing is with that.
I mean,
but it seems like that's
I don't think it didn't look aesthetically like hip hop. But we got a couple callers coming in, man. Leroy Green, we appreciate you, brother.
You got to come back on. Leroy.
Come back on next Monday, next Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. We don't know when we're gonna be back on, but come in, brother. We appreciate your perspective.
Anytime, man. Appreciate both of y'all, man. According to hip hop, we're gonna keep it lit, man.
Keep it rocking, brother. Appreciate it. Let's get this call up. Let's get this call up in here.
Who we got?
Well, let's get the callers in. Hold on 1 second. It's our first time doing live calls. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
I like the whole Black Eyed Peas conversation because Flo Rida is hip hop as well. He is.
Hello?
We got a caller? Or we got to keep it rolling? Boom Boom Pow is hip hop. Yeah, I mean, why not? Because it's not a good song. In my opinion, I'm not trying to be funny. Boom Boom Pow is a hit. I don't like the song, but what can I say to say it's not hip hop? Because it doesn't sound like Gangstar or something. Like, I think we have this bad habit in hip hop that if it's not something that we aesthetically like, we'll just put it in the category and say it's not hip hop.
Hey, we got a caller. Who's calling in? What's your name? Where you from?
What's good? It's Chris from Atlanta.
Mike, you hear him?
Who's this?
This is Chris from Atlanta.
Chris, what's good, man? How you doing, bro?
You killing, man. What's good with you?
Oh, man, you know, everything is everything. Well, Black Eyed Peas is a hip-hop group, Chris.
Are they a hip-hop group? Absolutely.
Okay.
Why would they not be?
Exactly. I mean, because a lot of people don't acknowledge that. They say they're a pop rap group.
Well, I mean, on the first CD, I can't recall the name of it, but before Fergie and all of that, you know, it was, you know, some underground hip-hop type, you know, group or whatever.
But what about when Fergie was in the group, though? Would you say they're a hip-hop group with Fergie?
With Fergie, I think the music kind of dictates it to be more pop. You know what I'm saying? Pop-ish or whatever that genre is. You know, they got all these genres now. So it sounds more pop-ish to me. But prior to that, definitely underground hip-hop.
Cool.
I got you. There's a lot of stuff going on. What's going on in Atlanta with the Puff situation? They talking about that down in Atlanta? What's going on with Puff?
I mean, they talking about it everywhere. I don't know. I mean, has he formally been charged with anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is charging him in the media and, you know. But so far, it looks like all he's wanted for his question. What did he actually do?
Right.
I mean, I think that's where everybody is right now. I think it's one of those social media blast type of situations where that's where it feels like a pile on. And I think 50 is, from a mainstream standpoint, kind of leading the charge when it comes to that pile on. Do you think 50's gonna stop or he's just gonna keep going while this whole thing is making way?
You gotta think what then?
Do you think 50's gonna keep going at Puff?
Of course, that's what he does. I mean, he's that's what he does. That's his personality type. But again, he ain't been charged for nothing so far. It's just everything is popping. If I get a speeding ticket now, I'm gonna be like, yo, Puff was chasing me. I mean, everybody's just saying his name for any ticket. You know what I mean? And you love it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting corny real quick because of the way the internet works. But I get it. Everybody just like to laugh, I guess. But again, what has he been charged with?
There it is. We got a lot of beeping in the background. What's that?
That's people calling in. That's people calling in. That's people calling in. So the phone lines are blowing up. Chris, before we let you go, what's your favorite hip hop record, man? Favorite album?
Favorite album?
Of all time? All time.
Fear of Black Planet.
Okay.
That's actually the greatest hip hop. Well, no, I think It Takes a Nation is the greatest hip hop album ever.
Yeah. Fear of Black Planet.
Phone lines
just off the top of my head. No doubt.
The phone line's going crazy tonight. Chris, you started something new, man. This is the first kind of live call-in we had. So that everybody, you set the precedent. Everybody calling in.
Call me for the real. I'm gonna give you my real opinion. I don't care how anybody feels about it. It's what it is.
It is what it is. Well, we appreciate you calling in.
No doubt. All right, y'all.
All right, Chris.
619. Who we got on the line? What's your name? Where you from?
Dago, San Diego.
San Diego. What's popping in San Diego, brother? What's on your mind?
Whatever y'all got going on. Whatever topic you bring up, I'm just watching the show.
Okay. Let's first ask this. Let's see where you coming from. What's your favorite hip hop album?
I mean, there's too many of them to have a favorite hip hop album.
What you listening to? What you listening to right now? Then
I checked out the Future and I checked out the Joyner Lucas album. That's the two new ones that came out. I checked out. And the 90s still running. DMX and Twista got the best versions of the year so far. If you ain't heard Joyner Lucas album.
I got to go check that, man. All right. So speaking of which, and you over there in San Diego, you on the West Coast. What do you think about this whole Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole thing? How you think this is gonna play out?
I mean, obviously Kendrick, he rap better than most people. He can just do stuff with his mouth that most people can't do. But people don't like the songs he always chooses to make. But when he want to make the songs you want to make, he could do that. But yeah, he gonna wrap circles around him. They can't rap with him.
So you think
it's not even close?
You think they're gonna respond and he's just gonna respond harder, or you think this one's gonna be good enough to just take everybody out?
Like his Kendrick problem is he an artist, so he be thinking all kind of crazy stuff the average person don't think, and he makes songs about it. But if you give him a topic, they can't rap like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all people act like they didn't hit them bars on the diss song with Future.
Yeah.
Everybody metaphors and stuff ain't going like that. I rap too. You know what I'm saying? So I already know how it goes. Like, man, the man had way. I mean, the whole time he rapped, he didn't say any regular lines in that whole diss song. So it was like, and he's so good at it that people still singing along with it. But they don't know is that, you know what I'm saying? Like he very good at rapping. All of them are good at rapping, but they ain't good as Kendrick.
So we got one for Kendrick right now.
Hey, we appreciate you calling in. We got another call coming in, man. Much love to you, man. Keep checking us out, bro. What's your name? Where you from? 82HH Live.
Hey, LP, man. Hey, what's up, dog? How's it going, man?
LP, what's good? How you doing?
LP out the Bay.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
What's up, G?
Oh man, good to hear from you again, LP man. What are you thinking about this Kendrick and Drake thing and J. Cole?
Oh shit! Hey, what's up, man? I'm hearing another thing in my thing. What's up, man? How's it going, Mike?
Oh, good man, good man. You know, things are going. What do you think about
Yeah,
this Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole thing? How you think this is gonna pan out?
they got to respond. They got to respond. I don't think what he said was like crazy lyrical or anything like that, but it was impactful. So he got the W with that. It was trending. They look bad, man. You know what I mean? Drake, not so much, because he was able to dodge all that push of smoke and still be selling millions. But Cole, for the past like 2 or 3 years, all he's been doing is rapping about killing MCs. Like, it sounds good, but at the end of the day, he's just, I rap better than you. Don't put me on your song. So K-Dot came at him. You got to come correct. You got to say something. You know what I'm saying? Not right away, but it's got to be like a full diss track. It's got to be like a full on or a full verse. He's got to say his name.
Well, see, Kendrick hasn't said their names yet either. So I guess whoever says the name first is really the one setting it off.
Hey, A2HH Live.
Hello.
A2HH Live. I think we lost LP.
Hey, what's up?
What's your name? Where you calling
What's
from?
up, guys? I'm Jonathan. I go by JI Designs in the chat. I'm from St. Louis.
Okay, what's on your mind, brother?
Oh, not much. I just want to jump in and talk about the Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake.
Where do you think
right now,
going, man? What are your thoughts? Is how it's going at this point, and where you think it's going to go?
I already know Drake gonna respond. I mean, he has a track history of that. He's gonna respond. I think I'm more interested since I'm a Cole guy. I want to see what Cole step up and say, because these last 2 years he's been rapping like one of the best MCs. So it's time to show and prove.
Yep.
This your first battle. We got to see what you're gonna do.
No doubt, no doubt.
It's actually both of their first battles. So I mean, before you go, give a prediction. Who you got winning this whole thing?
I had to put money. I mean,
cash money,
I'm
brother.
going with my. I gotta go with my guy Cole. I mean, I'm a Cole guy, and then technically Drake is the most battle tested out of these three. So, I mean, if I were, it would be Cole and Drake right now.
No
I
doubt.
love all three of them though.
No doubt, man. We appreciate you tapping in, man. Checking in with us next week.
For sure.
I think this might be the last call. We got to figure out that beeping thing, man. That
A2HH Live. You on deck?
What?
What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Shorty. I'm calling from Chicago.
What's
what
on
up,
your mind,
Chicago
brother?
in the building?
Yo, what's going on, Mike, man?
Oh, what's good, man?
Always
Good
watching you and Cool.
man.
What's going on, man?
Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I see like everybody's touching on this whole Drake and Kendrick thing, and I think honestly, man, it's been simmering for such a long time that I think Kendrick hasn't really been in the gym like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see like how he's going to counter. But I agree with the caller before, man, and I'm interested to see how Cole's going to respond. Especially with the fall off coming up.
Cole seems like he's been able to do any and everything, you know what I'm saying, except for making that full, complete album that everybody's expecting for his skill set. But when it comes to like him being able to do a conscious record, do a radio record, do a record with Lil Durk, do a record with Benny the Butcher, it's like he's excelling in everything. But that battle's a different, that's a different dimension. And that's something that him and Kendrick respectfully just haven't fully jumped into. And it's funny, the most battle-tested person of the three is Drake. But, I mean, if it comes down to Kendrick and Cole, I used to would have said Kendrick, but based on how Cole's rapping right now, like the caller before said, he's just in the gym more right now.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you calling in. We got one more call. We got two or three more callers coming in.
Let's do one more. That beeping, man. Let's alleviate it.
Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed. It's the first time we did it, man. We try to make some history tonight, you know. And you know, we're gonna get the beeping fixed. You know what I'm saying? It's just technical difficulties, but ain't too many people, you know, doing it like we doing it tonight. You know what I'm saying? We talking to the people. It's according to hip hop, baby. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get one more call in. A2HH Live. What's your name? Where you from? A2HH Live. What's your name? Where you from? A2HH Live.
Hello?
A2HH Live. What's your name? Where you from?
Hi, my name is Nikki. I'm from Atlanta.
Hey, well, Nikki, what's up?
I'm chilling, Shaw. What's up, Shaw?
Okay, what's on your mind tonight?
Okay, I have to talk about Kendrick and the battle.
Okay.
I know Mike's got something to say.
Okay.
Hey, what's up,
I
Nikki?
feel like Drake. Hey, baby. I feel like Drake has been a pop artist for years now. I think that so I'm older than your average listener, okay? But that nigga been pop for a minute, and y'all just been kind of carrying him along. The lyrics have not been, you know, substantial. I feel like Kendrick he acts like he God, but he ain't God body. All right? With the symbols and shit, y'all niggas need to, you know, get your lessons in for real, because he ain't the one. And I feel like Cole gonna come through. He gonna eat for that nigga, just like Nas did to Jay. And it's gonna be it.
I like the female perspective. We need more females calling in. We like that. So let me ask you, Nick, what's your favorite hip hop album of all time? Since you ain't really feeling Kendrick like that, what you listening to right now? And from an all time perspective, what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
It's hard because I'm 40 years in this, right? So you know, it's like, what are you talking about? The late 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, like. I'm old school with it, you know.
Let's pick the 90s.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to go with. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with like NWA. Okay. Straight out of Compton. I'm from the West Side. We always represent. NWA changed the whole game. I can tell you parts of my life that changed because of that. You know what I'm saying? I got milestones in my life behind music. So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna represent the West Coast. 2000s, I'm a huge 50 Cent fan. You don't know that, but you know, I'm with that gangster shit. I love to shoot 'em up. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm so far away from that shit, but that's what I love.
Get rich in that.
Right now,
what's your thoughts?
Right now, I'm listening to old school shit. I don't listen to y'all shit. Y'all shit whack.
Before we let you go, what's your thoughts on this Diddy situation from a female perspective?
Say that again. You cut up.
I said, what's your thoughts on this Diddy situation from a female perspective?
Okay, so my thoughts are that you cannot prosecute a man for having extravagant sexual desires, and that's all that seems to be happening. Is like he likes to have orgies, and that's not enough to convict a person. I feel like these Diddy parties that people knew what they were getting into, and they stayed at the party 30 minutes after the devil arrived, and y'all are consenting adults, so stop playing like y'all wasn't with the shits because y'all was with it. Now that he's, in trouble, now everybody got a story, but stop it because y'all was with the money, y'all was with the power, y'all was with the private jets and the planes and getting all of that shit, and now all of a sudden now it's a problem now that he's, in trouble. But I don't believe that this is going to result in anything. I think that was a pure embarrassment of what happened with the helicopters and the tanks outside of his house. It was a pure waste of taxpayers' money. Y'all are not, and honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I want this nigga to get away. Like, he need to run to whatever country he needs to not be extradited by the United States. I'm all with it. Run, Diddy, run. Team Diddy. I'm with it all day.
Well, that's an interesting perspective. We appreciate you, Nikki, for calling in. We appreciate you calling. Check back with us on
all right. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, T Nitty with the super chat says, Mike, where's Coop? Going to the source. Yeah, he's on Mirror Music. I think he's gonna be on Rap Roundtable later. I think I saw that in the chat. But I wish him well.
Rap Roundtable?
Yeah, I
Oh
think I
man,
saw that in the chat. So, but shout out to them and shout out to everybody in the space. Like I said, this is about the space getting bigger, and that's continuously being able to have these hip hop conversations and everybody being able to flourish in the ways that they need to.
Yeah, it's all positive. It's all love, man. People having conversations. It's a lot of different outlets. It's Fresh Out Hip Hop. It's Rap Roundtable.
Because what's been created by, and this is a mic check. I don't want anything get confused. What's been created by what Coop and I did with A2HH Live, it's created a space and a dialogue and a discourse between the fans and between, we're fans ourselves, journalism, fans, and mixing that with just embracing the music and bringing the artists together with that. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, but we got to let the audience know too. It wouldn't be an A2HH Live without According to Hip Hop. And According to Hip Hop's been going for a very long time.
For sure.
1.5 million followers on Facebook.
1.6.
1.6. And damn, I stand corrected. You know what I'm saying? We still leading the space on YouTube. We got 36,000 followers on IG. Gonna grow Twitch. We're gonna grow X. So I mean, it's a space for everybody to have. I mean, legacy hip hop media is kind of dead. The Source is dead. XXL is dead. This is the new wave. And what you and Coop did was to create conversations that kind of pioneer this kind of space where people can talk about hip hop, engage with the fans, and make it really according to the people. So shout out to Coop. Much love to him. We're gonna be checking out Rap Roundtable, Fresh Out Hip Hop. Much love to them. We're going to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Mic check, According to Hip Hop. A2HH Live is going to come back in some type of form. Who knows? Coop might come back. Who knows? But, I mean, it's just going to continue to keep going.
Yeah, it's always been about the love of hip hop and, just the love of the people, man. And the love that you guys have shown over these past 4 years with this platform. And we're talking about YouTube specifically. It's been, overwhelming, and it's awesome, and it's beautiful, and there's no need for it to stop because I think it just continues to grow with all the other individual pods and the other individual personalities that come with it. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And we got big announcements coming up soon. That Pete Rock full interview is going to drop in a bit.
Max says that number ain't work for me. We got to tweak out.
No, the number worked. We had the lines is blowing up, man, Max. So we had to cut that. I mean, if you want to. Mad Max, I'm gonna put the link in. We're gonna take one more. If you want to, you got about 5 minutes, so you can jump on.
I would love for Mad Max to jump in. You trying to get on camera real quick, Mad Max?
He don't have to turn his. But see, the thing is, when I put this link in, I just want to explain it to everybody. You don't have to turn your camera on. So that can be an audio link. So y'all hop in. I'll put the
line is on fire.
I'll put I had to cut. It's our first time doing the phone line. It burned out the board. So. I love it. We're going to figure out something else, but we want to do something different. But yeah, hit that link, and you don't have to turn your camera on. You can just jump on.
Yeah, I want to hear what Mad Max is going to say about this Kendrick stuff because it's going to be very epic. Very epic. Is he calling in?
We'll give him a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we'll give Mad Max a couple of minutes, and we're going to bounce. But I think the general consensus is people want to see this showdown between Cole and Kendrick. They're not even interested in the Drake side of it. You know what I mean? And it's maybe this is what Drake wanted. Maybe this is what Drake expected. I think Drake is, and I know y'all think that I overstate Drake's position a lot of times, but Drake's very not the word I'm looking for is not subliminal, but he's very analytical. He understands he's playing chess out here. I think, and I said this before when it happened, when he brought Cole on tour with him and then made First Person Shooter, he knew that was going to get under Kendrick's skin. And it did. And here we are. I think he planned all of this out. And I think at this point, one or two things are going to happen. Either Drake's going to go all in on Kendrick, or he's just going to set Cole up to do the same thing. And it's going to totally inflate the album that Cole's already about to put out that was already going to be the most anticipated album of the year. So it's kind of like the Stillmatic and Blueprint thing, right? I think that their back and forth inflated both those albums. So imagine if J. Cole has that level of momentum with this new album that's highly anticipated, and he has that energy, and he's able to take down Kendrick on top of that, game over.
Game over, brother. Game over, brother. We got 2 more minutes. We're gonna wrap it up in about 2 more minutes.
Mad Max, you calling in? Let us know if you're calling in or not, Mad Max. I know the people want to hear from you as well.
Man,
shout out to Leroy Green for jumping in with the great conversation. Shout out to LP also. It's a fun time.
I might somebody just text me and said, please let me call in. So we might, if Leroy Green, if LP don't call in, or who is that?
No, it's Mad Max.
If Mad Max don't call in, we might just take one more, and that'll be it for the night.
Yeah, for sure.
People are excited about these phone lines. They like
yeah. We had this phone lines right. I'm excited about it too because I think Nikki brought a great energy to the broadcast as well, and with her Run Diddy Run.
Yo, we had 269 calls in the span of 15 minutes, man. So
what? Yeah. 269 calls? Yeah, we gotta figure out
the board. The board is smoking. We need to get an intern or somebody to switch the board. Mad Max is on. What happened to Mad Max? Come back, Mad Max. He just popped on and he went away. We'll wait a couple more minutes.
Come on, Mad Max. All right, man. If Monday's better for you, Mad Max, we can do Monday.
No. He popped on. I think something might have happened to his phone, but I think he's let him come in. I think it was working. It was working.
Yeah, what 300 something calls? Yeah, burn the board. And shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are amazing, man. I wanna interview Tariq Nasheed if we can make that happen because I think this documentary is interesting and it needs to get as much promotion as possible because if people are trying to get to the bottom of, hip hop's origins, I'm with that. And I think that needs to be something that is prioritized.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think we need to sit down with him. I've already reached out to his camp. I think we're going to have a sit down. All right, Mad Max is here.
There it is, the great Mad Max. So we can end this on a high note.
Mad Max, brother, what's going on?
Mad Max, you there?
You on mute, brother?
Oh, he's on mute. Come on, let's get it right, Mad Max. You new generation. You know the technology.
Hit the unmute button, brother.
Spoiler alert, Mad Max is 60 years old.
Mad Max, you on mute. Turn your mic up.
Yeah, we're going to have to catch Mad Max next week.
Esquire is in the building. Let's add Esquire to the joint.
Okay, Esquire. Good to hear from you, bro. Again. We cut you short the other day, man. I would imagine that you got Cole in this Kendrick matchup, right?
Yeah, I mean it's all good, man. I wasn't tripping about being cut short.
We had a lot of guests on the other day, man.
Yeah, man. I just came from a hoop session, so I caught the tail end of the conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the consensus, like everybody said, is that everybody wants to see what Cole is going to do with Kendrick in this situation.
Well, let me ask you this, because you're a little bit more analytical with a lot of these things. How do you think this is going to pan out? Can you give us a prediction of where you think things are gonna, I don't want to say escalate, but yes, evolve from here?
Usually I like to be able to firmly predict what's going to happen. But I think from Cole's vantage point, if he does what I would predict him to do, he's going to lose. And seriously, the one edge artistically that Kendrick has over J. Cole is that J. Cole is very calculated and very thoughtful and analytical, introspective. Kendrick is he's a Gemini, so he's unpredictable, and that's what kind of makes him so. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw Kendrick dissing Drake and J. Cole on a Future song,
Right.
And then doing it. Nobody saw him dissing J. Cole at all because they often get compared. For years we were talking about them doing an album together, and they always big each other up, and they're seen as like the two premier lyricists of this generation. So I think what Kendrick did was a chess move. For J. Cole, he knows that J. Cole plays it safe, generally speaking. And that's kind of what J. Cole's weakness is. I saw some people in the chat saying that the other day, is that he lacks edge. And I kind of agree with that. J. Cole is a student of the game. From a rhyming standpoint, his stuff is textbook. Like if you want to break down syllable by syllable, I'm probably going to go to hell if Jesus asked for a feature collecting this bread in mass like he a Catholic preacher. I mean, that's textbook rhyming. But when it comes to beefing, there's a certain level of pettiness. I think I heard Coop say that before. That's absolutely true. And nobody saw that coming in the Nas and Jay-Z beef. That's why so many people counted Nas out. Because Jay-Z, Jay-Z invites the conflict. He invites the pettiness, the slick talk. Nas is more so like, nah, I'm above all that. Billy, let's go to Africa, And then all of a sudden he came out from left field, firing and hitting Jay-Z where it really hurt.
So
I don't know.
J. Cole got to get out of character a little bit to stand a chance here.
Right, and that's actually the tightrope though, because he does have to get out of character, but just as a general rule of life, when you get out of character and you let somebody else get you out of character, you kind of already lost. So that's why it's a chess move from Kendrick. It's like if J. Cole comes with the normal type of approach that he would normally come with, like what he did with I know you a Kanye fan, so you can appreciate this, Mike. What J. Cole did with the false prophet verse, right? Like,
right.
You can't take that approach in this situation when Kendrick said, no, it ain't no big three, it's a big me. Your best work is a light pad. He wasn't just talking to Drake when he said that either. He was talking about them. They clicking up, but cannot be legit no 40 water. You can't get away with, man, we cool. I hate to have to. You can't do that with Kendrick. You got to get petty. But at the same time, if it's not legit and it's not authentic, the people are gonna be able to see through it. So
your best work as a light pack is definitely for Cole. And I don't think that was directed at Drake at all because, people the masses will say what it is when it comes to take care. Nothing was the same, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's subject to interpretation, man. But I think he was talking to whoever the shoe would fit, because some people would say that Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, as great as they are for their time. They would say the same thing they say about 2014 Forest Hill Drive. It's just great.
Right.
So that's what's kind of intriguing to me. And then it's the fact that J. Cole is kind of like LeBron in a sense compared to Kendrick's Kobe, in that he kind of cares about how people perceive him a little bit more.
Is that Mad Max with the Koofy on?
Yeah, that's Mad Max. Mad Max, you got something to say to Esquire?
It's good.
Mad Max still on mute?
I think he got the tinfoil over his phone or something. It ain't working. You got to get your phone right, Mad Max. We appreciate the love, brother. So what else is on your mind, Esquire, till Mad Max get his joint right?
It sounds like Esquire, and I'm surprised here. It sounds like you got Kendrick winning this. And I know you're a Cole guy.
Well, I really don't necessarily. I think it's that's the thing that's somewhat different about this social media era as opposed to when everything was being received in real time. Like when you heard Ether, you heard it on the radio 2 weeks before the album came out. Now it's just about who's controlling the narrative, and it's about who's paying enough attention to really care and dictate who wins. There will never be a consensus pick as to who won the same way that the way there should be in the Nas and Jay-Z conversation, despite what Jay-Z stands to try to I don't know that there's going to be a consensus outcome. I think what is interesting for Cole is that we know he's about to drop the ball off, which he needs to, like in the next couple of months. Timing is of the essence. You can't wait 7 months to try to respond to it, because then it's going to look like you just gracefully bowed out. But
and at that point, people have forgotten, and
exactly.
That's just the cycle we live in.
Exactly. But at the same time, if you jump out the window too quickly, then you show your hand, and then if you give him an opportunity to respond and study what you did and what you said, you're really setting yourself up for failure. If I, as a former artist and a student of the game myself, if I was either Drake or Cole, what I would do is kind of like what Nas did with the Stillmatic freestyle, kind of like what Drake did to Meek Mill, although this is not Meek Mill, starting with the Charged Up, and then he came with the back-to-back. You drop a little light, some heavy bars, but nothing too crazy, and then you keep your real, torpedo in the tuck to see what he's gonna do with it. That's what I would do in this situation. I just think
I love your take on this, man. This is very, you're playing chess,
Yeah, that's
very
what this is. It's the art of war, And but
we're gonna have to, as this continues to unfold, we definitely got to continue to check in with you just kind of like a play-by-play, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're the first person, I mean, not the first person, but probably the best person to actually do a play-by-play on the happenings as these records come about. And see if some of the things that you put out there, and I know there's a lot of people probably listening, actually come to fruition, you know?
Yep. Yeah, man, I would be honored to be able to do that play-by-play with you, man. I'm a fan of both of them, and I know for a long time y'all were giving me hell because y'all thought I was this big Kendrick fan, and I'm really just a fan of hip hop, man. I only became a fan of Kendrick because of J. Cole, ironically, because he produced High Power, and we go listen to Section 8 right before it came out, of course. But yeah, man, this is one for the book. The game needs this, man. You know, we've been talking.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about the lack of excitement, or that next superstar, that next big moment in hip hop. This is what the game needs right now. So we'll see where it goes.
It definitely is. Well, we appreciate you checking in with us, man. And we'll probably see you Monday on the Mic Check Monday as well.
No doubt, man. Y'all hold it down.
No doubt, Esquire. Be easy, brother. We appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, we appreciate everybody tuning in, man. We're like 2 hours in, man. Great show today. And we're going to get those phone lines right for you guys so that we can hear more from you guys at the end of these mic checks as well.
Hey, man, we need some more super chats. This board was $1,000. He didn't burn my board up. But it's all good. Mad Max, you there? Before we go, he's still in the queue.
Mad Max got to get it right, Mad Max.
All right, Mad Max, we're going to holler at you next time, brother.
All right, guys. Appreciate that. Hit like and subscribe. We appreciate y'all rolling with According to Hip Hop, man. Good looking. We're going to holler at y'all Monday.
No doubt. Appreciate it, guys.